And then we're just going to bounce one of these Alsads. And then we're going to kill our Omen for Luris. Or the Mimic. And we copy our Archon, question mark. And now it will make 2/2/2s. Okay. The plot thickens. We've got a Garrick to deal with. And this sucks. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. Today, we're playing 4-color enchantments within Mythic, utilizing Enigmatic Incarnation, an enchantment that allows us to sacrifice another enchantment that we control at our end step, and then it will allow us, when we do so, to search our library for a creature card with mana converted of the equal cost +1 of the sacrificed enchantment, and that just slams into the battlefield. So that's really cool. You know, having that in play will allow a deck filled with singles because there's no need for consistency. The consistency comes in through the Incarnation and then pulling whatever we need out from our library. So you can see it's a big list. There's not many 4-ofs. We're running Yorion as our companion, so we're having 80 cards in the deck instead of 60, and we're playing traditional today, so there's a 15-card sideboard to get through as well. So a big old deck tech for you guys today. If you're finding any value within this at any point, please give it a thumbs up, share it to a friend, and of course, subscribe for more. Let's get right into it. I mentioned that we have Yorion as our companion. When you have a creature card as your companion, you have to follow a set of deck building rules. In Yorion's case, your deck has to have at least 20 or more cards than your minimum, and we have a 60 minimum, which brings us up to 80. And in this case, it actually really helps us because rogues and the crab mill are everywhere. People are milling and winning. Using 80 cards is a surefire way to slow that down. Yorion's great just as the creature as well, and when it is the companion, we have access to it from our sideboard. So we just need to pay 3 to bring it from our sideboard into our hands, and then we can play it from our hand for the converted mana cost of 5. It is a 4/5 with flying, and when it enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-permanents you own and control, and return those cards to the battlefield at the beginning of your next end step. This is really, really nice. We're revolving the deck around enchantments, and we have things that trigger, you know, off of, say, our Archon of Sun's Grace, which we'll get into a little bit later. Actually, no, we'll do it now. It's flying lifelink, 3/4, and Pegasus creatures you control have lifelink. It's not a Pegasus itself, but it has Constellation, and whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white Pegasus creature token with flying. So, you know, we use our Enigmatic Incarnation to pull out our Archon of Sun's Grace, right? We're sacrificing an enchantment worth 3, Archon comes out as 4, and then we play a whole bunch of enchantments over top of it, which create 2/2s, which will have lifelink as long as the Archon remains in play. And then, you know, later on, we use, coming back to it, our Yorion to bounce all of our enchantments that are in play, and all of those enchantments will re-trigger on our Archon of Sun's Grace, creating even more 2/2s for us, which is really cool. And this combo, while we're on it, actually goes a little bit further with Barrin, Tolarian, Archmage. This is going to allow you to bounce, you know, your Yorion back to your hand if you want to rebounce it, which is one way to go, right? You can also be bouncing your opponent's creatures. It doesn't immediately re-enter. You're still going to have to cast it and pay the 5 again next turn, but it's one way to get it into your hand. An even better way to get it into your hand is Thassa Deep Dwelling. We can be bouncing our Yorion every single turn, and then Yorion bounces everything, right? Pretty crazy stuff, right? So you use Thassa to bounce Yorion. Yorion comes back. You will have to play your opponent's turn with nothing on the field, I believe, but they will come back next turn. That's fine. It's just because Thassa returns things on your end step, and then it's already your end step, and then Yorion will return things to the battlefield on your next end step, right? So you are going to go a turn without your enchantments in play that you bounce with Yorion or your creatures, but that's fine. They're going to hit, and you're going to flood the field utilizing more mana to have those 5-6 enchantments re-enter play, then you would have been able to cast from your hand, right? So if you only had the 5-6 mana, it's rare to be able to cast 3, 4, 5 enchantments into play on one turn. Are you even going to have the hand size for that, right? But if you use Thassa to bounce Yorion and you already had a whole bunch of enchantments in play with your Archon of Sun's Grace, that's just going to, you know, load the ranks of Pegasi soldiers for you. So with that out of the way, we've got a little bit of removal, starting our 1-drops out with Sorcery Speed, Bloodchief's Thirst, one of the greatest cards in Zendikar Rising. Kicker for 3, so you can cast it as a total for 4. If you don't kick it, destroy target creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost 2 or less. If it was kicked, instead destroy target creature or planeswalker in general. It doesn't matter on the converted mana cost. A single copy of Erebos Intervention, a 1-drop for X instant speed. Choose 1. Target creature gets -X until end of turn. You gain X life. Right, it's not the worst. That -X primarily will help you destroy creatures with indestructible, because even a creature with indestructible cannot exist with negative toughness. And then exile up to twice X target cards from graveyards. You know, you can be dealing with your opponent's graveyard if they have stuff like Kroxa, any escapes, blah blah blah. Into our 2-drops, we've got 3 copies of Confounding Conundrum, an enchantment, and when it enters the battlefield, draw a card, so it replaces itself, which is really good. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, if that player had a land enter the battlefield under their control this turn already, they return a land under that they control to back to their hand, right? So this is really cool. If they're cracking passages a bunch, this is just going to try to slow them down a bit. You can get into a weird place where you're letting them re-trigger their landfall effects, but that's why we have the Incarnation, because if something like that happens, we can just sacrifice it. 4 copies of Mystic Subdual, one of my favorite cards within the deck. An enchantment aura with flash. Enchanted creature gets -2, -0, and loses all ability. Mutating onto this creature won't give new abilities. It can gain new abilities in other ways. 2 copies of Negate Instant Speed, counter target non-creature spell. 4 copies of Omen of the Sea, an enchantment also with flash, and when it enters the battlefield, scry 2, then draw a card, pay 3, sacrifice it to scry 2. 2 copies of Heartless Act, instant speed, choose 1. Destroy target creature with no counters on it, or remove up to 3 counters from a target creature. A single copy of Mire's Grasp, an enchantment aura. Enchanted creature gets -3/-3. 2 copies of Destiny Spinner, a 2/3. Creatures and enchantment spells you control can't be countered. You know, it's pretty rare to run into counter spells, but we talked about rogues a little bit. They're running counter magic still. We can pay 4. Target land you control becomes an XX elemental creature with trample and haste until end of turn, where X is the number of enchantments you control. It is still a land. You know, it's not uncommon to get 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 enchantments in play, and you know, your Destiny Spinner herself is also an enchantment, so some of our creatures are enchantment creatures, you'll see, and you know, it's just a great way to get that damage in. Into our 3-drops, we have Agadeem's Awakening and Agadeem's Undercrypt. This is the Mythic Bolt land for black. Sorcery Speed for 3 plus X. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that each have different converted mana costs of X or less. It'd be cool if it was all. So, you know, if you cast this for 6, you can pull a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and a 3-drop from your graveyard. And I think pulling 3 creatures from your grave for 6 is a decent value. If it goes up from there, it just gets better, right? But I wouldn't be casting this for 4 to pull a 1-drop, right? I think that's maybe not very good. So the more that you cast this for, the more relevant and the better value or bang for your buck that you'll be getting. The land, you know, it comes untapped unless you pay 3 life. A single copy of Lurrus of the Dream Den, a 3/2 with lifelink companion, which we're not utilizing here, so just ignore it. And during each of your turns, you may cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard. All of our enchantments are permanents, right? We want to be laying in enchantments on top of our Archon to trigger the Pegasi creation, and Lurrus is going to be a great way to ensure that we can do that every single turn, right? You know, typically the enchantments would stay in play, but we are using Enigmatic Incarnation to be sacrificing our enchantments every turn, right? You know, we could have played an Omen of the Sea, got our Carnation out, sacrificed our Omen, brought Lurrus out because of that, and then replayed our Omen through Lurrus. So you can kind of see how you're able to recycle your cards there quite nicely. Dryad of the Elysian Grove, you may play an additional land on each of your turns. Lands you control are every basic type in addition to their other types. You know, it's just all right. Nighthawk Scavenger, a 1 star over 3, and its power is equal to the 1 plus the number of card types among cards in your opponent's graveyard. So, you know, enchantment, creature, instant, sorcery, land, yada yada yada. I think you can get it up to 7, so it would be an 8/3 for 3 with Flying, Death Touch, and Lifelink, which is pretty disgusting. 2 copies of Treacherous Blessing, an enchantment, and whenever it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. Whenever you cast a spell, you lose 1 life, and whenever it becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. So you won't be bouncing it with anything back to your hand. It will just automatically sacrifice itself. 3 copies of Elspeth's Nightmare and Enchantment Saga. When it enters play, destroy target creature with power 2 or less that your opponent controls. On the following upkeep, target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. They discard it. And on the following and final upkeep, exile target opponent's graveyard. A single copy of Neutralize for 3, counter target spell cycling for 2 at instant speed. Brazen Borrower, a 3/1 with flash and flying, can only block other creatures with flying. Petty Theft for 2 at instant speed as the adventure. Return target non-land permanent and opponent controls to its owner's hand. Barrin, Tolarian, Archmage. You know, we talked about this being part of the combo, which is pretty cool. You can also keep your opponent at bay by continuously bouncing them between this and Thassa. 8/2 and when it enters the battlefield, return up to 1 target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand, and at the beginning of your end step, if a permanent was put into your hand from the battlefield this turn, draw a card. So a little bit of a draw engine there if we need it. A single copy of Mystical Dispute, instant speed. It costs 2 less to cast if it targets another blue spell, and counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. 2 copies of Glasspool Mimic and Glasspool Shore. The MDFC, coming in tapped, adding a blue to our pool. Or the Rogue is a 0/0, entering as a copy of another target creature we control, except it's a Rogue and Shapeshifter. In addition to its other types, a single copy of Skyclave Apparition, a 2/2, when it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls with converted mana cost 4 or less, and when it leaves the battlefield, exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion, where X was the exiled card's converted mana cost. Into our 4 drops, we already talked about the importance of Archon of Sun's Grace within the deck. This is one of our first objectives to complete. A 3/4 flying and lifelink. Pegasus, you control have lifelink. Whenever you cast an enchantment, create a 2/2 Pegasi. That's a Deep Dwelling. 6/5, indestructible as long as your devotion to blue is less than 5. It's not a creature. We can actually get our devotion to 5 within the deck, so that's kind of nice. And at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. We can also pay 4 to tap target creature. Acolyte of Affliction. This is a 2/3, and when it enters the battlefield, mill 2 cards, then you may return target card from your graveyard to your hand. It's a great way to grab our enigmatic Incarnation back into play if our opponent has dealt with it. A single copy of Polkranos Unchained, 0/0, entering with 6 +1/+1s on it. If it escapes, it will enter with 12. The escape cost is 6 plus 6 cards from your graveyard. You can pay 3 to have Polkranos fight another target creature. 4 copies of Enigmatic Incarnation Enchantment, and at the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another enchantment. If you do, search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to +1 of the sacrifice enchantment's converted mana cost. Put that card into the battlefield, then shuffle your library. We also have a additional copy of Yorion, the Sky's Nomad. Within the deck, we have the 1S Companion. We've got 1 main deck as well. A 4/5 with flying, and then whenever it enters the battlefield, bounce whatever we want back to the battlefield on our next end step. A single copy of Shipwreck Dowser for 5, 3/3 with Prowess. Whenever we cast a non-creature spell, it gets +1/+1. When it enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. And finally, and definitely not least, Kenrith, the Return Speaker. You know, the jack of all trades, really. A 5/5, we can give things trample and haste. For 1, for 2, can put a +1/+1 on creature. For 3, we can gain 5 life. For 4, we can draw a card. And for 5, we can grab a creature from our graveyard to the battlefield, which is just sickening, right? So that's all we have for main board. Of course, these spells are accompanied by a single plains, 3 islands, 1 Castle Locthwain, a swamp, 3 forest, 3 Brightclimb and Grimclimb pathways, 3 Clearwater and Murkwater pathways, 2 Branchloft and Boulderloft pathways, 2 Temple of Mystery, 3 Indatha triomes, 4 Zagoth triomes, and 4 Fable passages. Of course, we do have the sideboard. We're playing traditional today. A additional copy of Erebos Intervention. We already talked about that. We've got 1 main board, I believe. Kavartek the Spiteful. This is for 4, a 3/2. Other creatures get -1/-1. You know, this is absolutely amazing if your opponent's running some form of token deck. Spark Hunter Massacre, 3/4 is an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card, protection from planeswalkers. It should really just say protection from Ugin, but again, we could be using the Stonecall Serpent if we wanted. We can pay 1 to deal 1 damage to target planeswalker. We can also pay 3 to give it indestructible until end of turn. You know, the indestructible saves it. protection from planeswalkers I think is a little bit irrelevant right now because we have so many things that just annihilate planeswalkers. What was that thing? It's deals like 4 damage to each creature and planeswalker your opponent controls or something, like every single turn. You know, planeswalkers are not doing it for me right now. We've got a Thrashing Brontodon. We can destroy enchantments and artifacts. It's also a 3/4 body. An additional Nightmare. We've got that main board. More Disputes. We have those main boards as well. You know, more Destiny Spinners. A Soul Guide Lantern if our opponent's graveyard needs to be dealt with. Hashtag Croxa. The Arachner if it's rogues, and Duress if it's a control match, right? So, you know, Duress, you are discarding from their hand. The Arachner is a 1/2 that fights something basically when it enters the battlefield. Doesn't fight it, but it deals damage equal to its power. Then it can escape for 5, 4 other cards, and it comes in with +3/+3, so it'll be a 4/5 that deals 4 damage to a flyer when it enters, which is really good against rogues. The Lantern, you know, just getting rid of their graveyard by Croxa. More Spinners if it's counter magic, right? Because then we're not going to be countered, and that fits great with our deck. The Mystical Dispute if they're running lots of blue, hashtag rogues, and if we need removal and, you know, enchantments, yada yada yada. So that's the sideboard. That was the deck list. We already talked about the strategies and synergies. There's not much more to it than we've gone through. This is the kind of deck you really want to be using your deck tracker with. So check out Overwolf link in the description below. That'll give you access to Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant. It's what I have open right here, and that what I have to track my cards within each match. It's got the metagame analysis, you know, deck videos, deck write-ups, deck stats, and so much more. Like, there is unlimited stuff for you guys to check out within Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant. And with a deck that is so, you know, finely tuned, and it's not just like, oh, I'm running 4 of these, 4 of these, 4 of these. Like, there's 80 cards here, and most of them are singletons. So you're going to want a list. You're going to need to know every card within your deck to utilize them ideally on point so you can make the most out of it, win your games consistently, and climb into Mythic Rank. Thanks for your time and attention. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend. We've got the 500,000 gem giveaway, monthly tournaments, free cash prizes, blah, blah, blah. Join the Discord. Don't miss out on anything. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe. Enjoy today's gameplay footage. Don't forget to watch the end so you might miss out on some life-changing news if you don't, because you know, we've got some bombs to drop. So stay tuned, and we'll talk to you in a few minutes when we wrap up. Alrighty, this is going to be our first match. We don't have any black sources for Blessing, but we do have our Incarnation, which is pretty cool, and similar to, you know, the Doom Foretold, sacrificing your own Treacherous Blessing. It's going to be the same with the enigmatic Incarnation. Let's take a look at our deck here. Oh my gosh, and what a deck it is. This is our first match with it, so there's a lot of stuff in here. That's a long list. Let's just take the Scry. We're looking for a black source, I guess. This is it. Do we have Doom Foretold in here? That's what I'm looking for. I don't see a Doom Foretold. And we should just nuke that. Right, so they don't ramp. Take that out of there. We could Blessing. We might take it slow with our Mimic, though. Yeah, let's take it slow. And then we can hold up this Negate on something, and then we also, if not the Negate or the Mystical Dispute, I don't think they have blue, so probably just the Negate and Omen. Charming Prince, you know, we're not doing anything about that. We're gonna get hit for 4 though, so that's unpleasant, right? That's a big boy beatdown. 2 to the bottom, that's good for us. Taking our Scry 2, draw 1. It'll be our 5th land. I'm not sure if we need it. Keep the removal though. Kill the 4/4. Holding up our Negate again. We also have Mystical Dispute. If we get this land in play, come on. Don't be shy. And, I mean, we could bring Yorion into the hand, but I think we're better off just to hold up counter magic. So they missed the draw because we nuked the creature, which is good. More mana ramp. We're gonna leave the Omen there to sack later. Let's just go for it, right? What's great here is the sheer force of what's within your deck, right? You know, I think playing that Nighthawk should be good enough. The Apparition might not be bad either, just to take their ramp. You know, we've kind of been doing that to them already, so why not keep up with it? They get a ramp, or just a mana token, basically, with this gold medal. They can sack it to add a color of any source. Here's the retreat, and we're going to see a land on top of it for a 2/2. Okay. It's annoying. Yeah, I think that's just fine. Or it becomes a 3/3, right? They get a 1/1 or 2/2, I guess. Whatever. We're gonna hold up a negate. I mean, I want this scavenger, but at the same time, gotta have some jazz to deal with that, don't they? We don't have multiple lands to play. Holding up our negate and Omen again. The hard part is the Feladar's retreat, right? Oh. That kills our Incarnation. And it has reach. Hashtag ouch. I like the Borrower. Let's just fill our board. End our turn. We have a Borrower to bounce a token. Or this Brood Moth, I guess. At least we know we need to counter it next turn. Sploosh. We don't really care about this at all, do we? Let's just eat it. I know that's less than ideal, but... Eat the token. I'm gonna try to take out the Gem Razor before the Broodmoth hits play with the Death Touch, and then they won't get a copy of it. Alright, we get it. We gain 3 life as well, so the Gem Razor can attack now, and we can just like basically take 1 damage. Oof. Okay, so another land for the retreat. Gem Razor gets another smash. Yikes, and they get a 2/2. Yikes. So that's a perfect top deck for us. Can't be countered. The Gem Razor ability's gone. And like, I don't know what else there is to do, right? They're gonna be playing this Moth. Basically have to rely on us. I don't want to do it. Let's just hit for our damage. Both up our negates. I don't want to play a Blessing and then kill ourselves. Right, so let's maybe just keep it until we pull another Incarnation. More mana ramp. Let's negate this. Perfecto. The retreat needs to get dealt with. Okay, so we have removal here. Let's take out the mana ramp. And let's still hit for another 3. Beautiful, we're up to 23. We have another negate, but I'm pretty sure they're just gonna Moth in eventually. Oh, wow. That negate is just sweet and spicy. That's a good game. Those are the hardest 2 negates I've ever seen in my life. Alright, we got a Nyla and a Broodmoth. A little aggressive. Let's use our Thassa and we can bounce our Elspeth's Nightmare. Oh, it's only creatures. What am I thinking? Oh, we can go back in defensive mode, I guess, right? We're tapped now, we'll come in untapped. It's been a long time since I've used Thassa's Deep Dwelling. For some reason I thought it bounced anything. It's Yorion that bounces it all. Alright. Another 2/2. Moth in play. That's a nice blocker, but we can kill it. Graveyard's gone, which is not bad. Alright, let's mill 2. Then we get to put something back in our hand, which will be our Incarnation. Death Touch will stay on defense now because we're only hitting for 1. I guess we could have attacked and then bounced it back as a defender. Totes my bad. You know, we could be bouncing our Alakite back as well to pull stuff to our hand, but we're okay for a tiny bit. Oof. Oh, they're starting to power up. Interesting. Interesting. We're at 26. Draw that actually does help them. Maybe we should try to close this out sooner than later. Let's take out one of them. Right, they can only kill one of us. We're at 20. The token, so screw it. And yeah, this gets weird at a certain point, right? What do we want to pull? We need to like figure out what we want before we pull it. Archon of Sun's Grace for 4. We need to sack something worth 3, which is this bad boy, but we can't get that out there. All right, let's just we'll do that next turn. Luris might be okay. We don't really have lots for it to pull. Probably just the bounce, right? Let's take the token away. The Indestructible in play is really nice as well for the Gem Razor attack. And then we can start just bouncing the Archmage over and over again. And that should help us. Alright, they pull a land, that's okay. Dun, 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 dun. I think we might get roped soon. I mean, they've got a great board state though, so it's really hard to do anything. We just get the kill on the Gem Razor here. That pushes our Nighthawk Scavenger up, I believe. Oh, but it comes back with flying. Both of them do. That could have been a misplay on our behalf there. Oh god. Sploosh. What did we want? We wanted that Archon. Hopefully we don't draw it. Three mana up. Let's flash in a blocker. No attacks. End our turn. Let's bounce the mage, and then we sack the blessing. Take our Archon. Bounce that token again. I don't think it's worth sacrificing to protect. Yikes. We're gonna use our Omen, which will make the 2/2. Right? And then we could have more blockers in the air than they are thinking we will. They kill our Incarnation again as soon as we get it in play. Dang it. This is a good match. Definitely a good match. We need to get our Pulcheranos out and just start fighting these things. Right? Stop it. Such a good play. They get another land for the retreat. Everybody's gonna get pushed up by +1/+1. We lose our Incarnation. Big yikes. We could be bouncing enchantments with Thassa as well to re-trigger Archon always. That's an option, like the enchantment creature like Destiny Spinner. And what better way to learn how to play a deck efficiently than just to get into a deep match, like a really long match, right? You know, I wouldn't mind these attackers here. They've got vigilance, go for it, right? What? That just simply doesn't compute to me. Okay, much more better. Let's Omen in. We get a 2/2 from that. Lands can absolutely go. Thank you. Pull another. Okay, alright, alright. The Broodmoth is still attacking? Oh, they can sack it to give it protection. I see. Alright, we're taking 9 damage there. That's unpleasant. We go up by 2. We have more life gain in play, but with these Alsads, that gets annoying. We pull an Incarnation. Oh my god. Need a swamp here. We should do this instant speed, shouldn't we? Let's bounce our spinner. Makes the 2/2 for a jump blocker in the air. We can still fight instant speed. We're gonna block the Luminous Broodmoth with our Death Touch, and then they're going to give it Indestructible or Protection. But they're gonna be able to do it twice is the thing. Let's force them into it right away. Right, let's deal with the life's bounties first. Right? Now they're forced to sack the other to protect the one or just let the one die. Oh, it comes back with flying. I keep forgetting about that. That's fine. We've got good blockers in the air. That's actually really nice. The Luminous Broodmoth with the Alceds of Life's Bounty. That's real good. We need to unleash this Elspeth's Nightmare as soon as possible. Nice. Sploosh. They just put a Garrick on top. Wow. Alright, this is getting messy. This is super, super messy. We need more removal. We've got a Myers Grasp here. That would be great. These 3 Alsets of Life's Bounty, though. Or what? Right, we're in trouble. I wonder. No blocks. Let's just take it. It's only 5. We're going pretty low, but we get a 2/2 here. I don't know where these Alsets keep coming from. We get a 2/2. The life gain is what will keep us alive, right? That's what we need, is all the life gain. Alright. They just sacked it. Which is fine, because it comes back. And now we don't get to destroy it, which is whatever. It would have come back regardless. Protection from blue. We're scared of our Archmage, maybe. Castle can go in. I'm worried to play this Incarnation with that Gem Razor still around. Let's just go for it. At a certain point, screw it, right? That brings Thassa back, which is good. There's no attacks here. And then we're just gonna bounce one of these Alsads. And then we're gonna kill our Omen for Luris. Or the Mimic. And we copy our Archon, question mark. And now it will make 2/2/2s. Okay. The plot thickens. We've got a Garrick to deal with. And this sucks. Right? We bounce one of them with flying. So they're inclined to sack the one without. Big woofs. Oh, it's not a token, it's just the creature. Never mind. So we know that it's just chilling. So even if they destroy our Archon, we have a second copy, right? That's really good. I think maybe they just have us here. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 life gain available. Ah, the killer. Our Archon. It's a good thing we copied it.
Let's see how sharp my axe is.
And Al said they can just give us like them protection from white, right? Oof. Oof. Oh god. Oh my god. Well, that's an easy block, right? We gotta kill that thing. Well, let's throw this there. And they're all gonna come back with flying, which is what's really gonna get us. It's that return next turn with flying, which will just be absolutely savage. I'm not looking forward to that. Right? A good game though, regardless. This is a great game. We'll do our best though. We'll try to play it out. As far as things from our board that would help us, I really don't know. I think like a Kenrith, I guess. We could try to sack something worth 5. Protection from the Scavenger sucks. We gain a lot of life here. But again, the flyers that come in, it's not good. They've nothing for us to take, and yeah. Ooh. Ah! Let's do our best. LOL. At what point did this slip away from us, I wonder, right? Did you guys see any misplays? This is my first match with the deck, and it seems to be a very complicated deck, right? Something that you're going to want to have totally mapped out beforehand. We could be tapping their attacks, I guess. right? That costs 4. I mean, I don't know if that's enough creatures to tap. I mean, yeah, at this point we're just making desperation moves. Right. They have plenty of defenders. You know, we're not... Well, this has trample, but it's not going to be enough, right? Big yikes. Again, Atris gets us nowhere. No attacks. And turn. Let's bounce our mage. I guess these aren't tokens, so let's keep that in mind. Grab our Luris. A little bit more life gain, right? We get access to all of our enchantments again to replay on top of our Archon. Maybe too late, right? Maybe too late. All of this is bad. Every part of this is bad. Polkranos, we could have, you know, bounced back up to a 6/6, but oh my god, that was... Oops. Oh, our brain is crumbling. I thought that was our Thassa bounce. You fool! You fool! Oh my god. Did we take that Gem Razor down? It's the one with trample. Right? Very complex deck, because we probably should have done this a while ago. Right? Oh, they can protect it as well. That's probably why we've not been thinking about it. Makes sense. We're having a full-out brain meltdown, right? Oh, 2 misplays in a row to finish the game off. Yeah! Again, this has been a great game, actually. Probably about a 30-minute plus match. Absolutely amazing, right? 2 organic decks facing off. Ah, man. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. If we don't have our chump blockers like we wanted to. Thassa's off the field. Cry. Cry. We can lose some stuff, I guess. All these have flyers, so we're not blocking them. Ouchie. We're getting hit for what? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And we gain 5 back, so we're at 19. We have 2 life left. They still have these damn Alsads. We're getting through them slowly. I don't think we're going to be able to get there the whole route. We should have been dealing with using Luris, the Mystical Subdual, on the Gem Razor every turn to burn out the outsets, right? Totes are bad. We're not going to survive this turn is the thing. And we don't get the enchantment played off that? So we can use 2 mana. Spinners out. We had a 2/2. Yorion comes in play. Decent blocker. That pushes Thassa out. We leave our mage there, and we leave Thassa. Right, because we want Thassa to trigger on our Barrin still. No attacks. Archon triggers a couple more times. Might save us with the life gain. Who knows? It's already got protection on it. That's annoying. I guess we just bounce this. If we didn't misplay, this could have been a incredible match, right? Because we got life gain again. Oh, Scoot Swarm. Nice. That's deadly. For science, right? There's the Scoot, there's the land. Naya's out. We got 2 life left. Everybody gets +1/+1 guaranteed. Woo! Woohoo! And vigilance. Alright, that's deadly. Woof.
We were born for the hunt.
If we can survive and start bouncing our Yorion every turn. Right? No trample. No trample. No trample. Take the kill, no life gain, because they'll sack it. Take the kill. Oh, we have this. Right? What if I just killed this thing? We have 6. We'd be gaining... We're taking 8 damage, and we'd gain 1, 2, 3, 4... This is messed up. This is messed up. So we're hitting for 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh man. We're gonna run out of time. That's the only way to do it. I'm pretty sure. Right, we're taking 8, so we need to gain 6. And we'd gain 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't need to sack Luris. We can keep Luris. Right? We gain 6. We go to 8. We're gaining... And then we'd be dead, so we do need to sack Luris. Right? It's either that or Yorion dies. But I need to keep Yorion alive. And if we bounce Yorion with our Archmage, does that work? I don't even know. Really? They can only kill one. It's gonna be Luris. Is that still lethal? Oh, because the damage doesn't go through from the protection. I'm pretty sure, right? Because it had protection, so our life link damage that we were counting on, like we were counting on Luris's life gain through the wolf, but then with protection from white, the life gain didn't happen. Good game. Whew. Cry. Good match. Ayo River. I'll tell you what, I was not expecting a 30-minute match as my first go-around. It was a great way to learn the deck, and now, because of that, I can play this deck basically perfectly. We didn't play best of 3. If we did, we would have been there for an hour. Oh my god. Can you imagine? You know, I've not been playing as much Magic recently, taking my feet off the pedal and coasting a little bit. The streams every second day right now. We're still doing daily uploads, down from 2 on YouTube. Just really struggling with our mindset a little bit. The ex-girlfriend's kind of upset about the cat, threatening court, yada yada yada, not great times. It is what it is. At least we have you, my faithful devotees. I really appreciate all of your guys' time and attention every single day. The likes, the comments, you guys sharing the videos to your friends, all of that wonderful support. The support on Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube, the Amazon link. It's not a bunch, but it's enough, kind of. I was surviving with 2 videos a day. Now that I've kind of hit a low spot, a rut, doing 1, we're not really making as much as we need to right now. But we'll get there. This is my fault. So I just want to let you guys know that you know, nothing's changed. You know, I'm still going to be doing this for a living, and you know, we're slowing down a little bit right now because I've got a lot of things to take care of, and just like basically been laying in bed watching TV, right? So, thank you. You guys truly do light up my days, and make sure to join the Discord, 500,000 gems. We've got cash prize tournaments, blah, 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 right? My outros are so good. All right, guys, take care. Go have yourselves a magical day, and we'll see you again soon.
Nice.